everybody. Welcome to our channel. I'm Terrence.
My name is Anthony.
And together we're the Scotts. So we have decided to start a channel to share some of our life experiences, some of the things we're going through right now, specifically our surrogacy journey. So we want to also give more representation of gay black married couples out there and the process they have to go through in order to build a family. We believe representation is really important, so hopefully by seeing our story it'll help someone else and help them see some of the things we went through and some of the obstacles that you do have to face within surrogacy. So this will be like our introduction video of telling who we are, where we live, how we met, all those good things.
So I'm 43. I'm from Chicago, South Side. Met Terrence through Facebook. Somehow we were already friends, but don't know how that happened. So basically I kind of stalked through his pictures and liked maybe a little bit more than what I should have. So he followed suit with about as many as I liked. So a few conversations went back and forth, exchanged numbers, and fast forwarding, we've been together for about 7 years collectively, and we've been married just over 2 years, just a little bit.
Yeah, so of course there's more meat to his story. But I'm Terrence, of course, and I'm 41, turned 41 in March. I'm originally from High Point, North Carolina. To add on to this Anthony's story, we met on Facebook. I ended up moving to Atlanta in 2016. By the way, we live outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in the northern suburbs. So I ended up moving to Atlanta in 2016, July 5th specifically of 2016. During our conversations, I exchanged that information with him, and just so happened he was coming to Atlanta himself.
I think you were here a couple of months before me. Yeah. And so the very same day, I think I came in October. You came in July. So I came in October, and I communicated with him what day I was planning to land, and stated that I wanted to meet him as soon as I land, because Atlanta, get in where you can fit in, because market is kind of shaky, for lack of a better word or phrase. So of all places, I decided to ask him to meet us at Blake's in Midtown. So why I asked to meet at Blake's, I wish I could do it over to this day. But we managed to be able to communicate a lot when our first date, what our aspirations were. We wanted to have children, things of that nature. So
we had a good time.
Yeah.
We had a good time, even though someone was trying to flirt with him while we were getting to know each other, but we managed to have a good time. And like you said, during that time we spoke about pretty much everything.
Literally.
Having children, getting married, wanting to go buy a home, all those things that some of us want out of life. Not everybody wants that, but it was something that we both shared in common and something that we both wanted. So
yeah, we basically moved to Atlanta with absolutely nothing. I think I had maybe several boxes I shipped through UPS from Chicago down here to Atlanta. I think he packed everything that he had that he can pack in his car at the time, and
moved on down, and ended up staying with my best friend for 8 months. Slept in his living room, in his one bedroom. My reason for moving to Atlanta is because I work in banking, and I specifically wanted to come down here to build my banking career. A good friend of mine's back home told me if I really wanted to make the money I was trying to make, I needed to move to Atlanta. So I moved down here to work for a specific company. Took a temp job, stepped out on faith, got down here, eventually interviewed with the company that I wanted to work for. 3 months later, got hired on. And here I am 7 years later, still with the same company, and been able to elevate myself pretty well over the 7 years. I've had some great opportunities and met some good people through networking who helped me, who helped me build my career, who helped me get to where I am today. So,
and I basically came straight down into medical. Into the medical field, did that for a couple of years when we met, then transitioning from medical into banking, and that's how we were able to build ourselves from, as he said, that he was living with his friend for a while, and with the dating back and forth, I found myself kind of almost roommating as well, as much time as we spent together.
mm-hmm.
So we literally started off on a air mattress that could not sustain air at all to our first apartment. So we were able to do that, and that's when we discussed that we wanted to stay there for, I think, 1 year.
Yeah, we ended up roommating with my best friend,
Yeah.
getting a 2-bedroom, and did that for a year. Then after that, we got our own apartment in the same apartment complex in downtown Atlanta. And then from there, we started
Took some time to work on your credit.
work on our credit.
More so him.
Yeah, more so me at the time. He was being stubborn.
Yeah, I was.
So worked on my credit. We knew we wanted to buy a home. So we started saving and looking, and we had friends of ours who encouraged us to buy a home. So we knew we wanted to have children. At the time, we were not married,
Right.
but we knew we wanted to have children. But we knew it was very expensive, over $100,000. It's like, how are we going to do this?
Exactly.
So we knew we had to buy a home, because if we bought a home and it built equity,
That would be our
nest egg for
do what we need to do.
to do what we need to do to build our family.
But I think what worked for us more so in that time frame is the pandemic and everything occurred, and
Yeah, so we started looking for a home right before COVID hit.
peak.
So we started looking at the end of end of 2019. So got my credit fixed up. We got our realtor, who was a friend of ours, found a home out in the southwest metro Atlanta area, down towards, by the airport, College Park area. So specifically South Fulton. It was Fairburn at the time, but it's now South Fulton. Found a really nice home that we thought we could not afford. So
we just knew we would get an existing home and move in from there. We didn't envision that we would be able to get a new build, brand new home. So
so we found the home. We got the money up for our down payment. Bought the home. Closed in 2020 of June. And from there, start to figure out when would we start our surrogacy journey.
we were thinking maybe 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, we did.
And then about literally year two, we started to look into selling a home, and we went through so many headaches with looking for homes that we were selling for, that we would move into.
But rewind back. So a year after we moved into the home, no, not a year, about 8 months after we moved to the home, we ended up getting married. So we had a really nice backyard, a really nice home that could hold enough folks for a wedding. So we ended up getting married in our backyard, getting it all set up, friends help, family help. So we ended up getting married April
4-3-2-1.
Yeah, 4-3-2-1. That's our wedding anniversary.
And I didn't think about that to my our neighbor at the time. She was like, "You guys got married on a unique date." I'm like, and she said 4-3-2-1. I was like, went over our head completely throughout the whole process. So that was just about a
it was by coincidence. But we never wanted. we didn't want to be married. We didn't want to be engaged for over a year. So in 2020, on my birthday, you know, everything was shut down, pandemic, we all locked down and stuff. He proposed on my birthday. He had planned on taking me to Top Golf, meeting some of my friends, like this whole surprise thing. But that got ruined because y'all know, you know.
Literally, I think the day that I wanted to have it for the pandemic, they made it, I guess, as a pandemic a couple weeks before your birthday.
It was like 2 weeks.
2 weeks before.
Yeah, so 2 weeks before.
They had to get scratched.
My birthday is the 28th of March, so we were all locked down everywhere. So he proposed, then they surprised me, and then a year and a week later we got married in our new home in our backyard. So that was exciting.
It was stressing and exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was. It really, really was.
But our family really came in to help us with everything, cooking, decorations. So that was a huge help. So.
So, fast forward, as we mentioned before, we knew getting a home would help us build our family. So, at first we thought about refinancing and pulling equity out because y'all know during that time, the surge in equity was just going up and up.
It was just outrageous, yeah.
So, it was like, okay, we got all this equity in this house, let's just pull some equity out and we can use that to start a family. So before we did that, we have been watching other gay couples on YouTube who had families.
Who inspired us to
do this right now, what we're doing right now, right? So specifically Terrell and Jarius, they really, really inspired us. Like that was like the first Black gay couple that we saw on YouTube, and for them to be so young, it was like, oh wow, you know, it was very inspiring. So we watched, you know, followed their story, and then we ran across the Marzoa family, which that's when we really learned about the price
of everything. Because they broke it down to the dollar, and it's reality.
Right. So we followed them as they built their family. So we thought about, well, is this the city we want to raise our kids in? Like, should we refinance or should we just sell and move somewhere else where we know there's great schools, safe community, still diverse?
Diversity was the biggest thing that we wanted. The community that we were in was predominantly Black, which is not an issue, but not at all. But we want our kids to be around diversity and see that there's a complete spectrum of people and not just one particular group.
Right. So we were looking and decided to put the house on the market. So we did. We put it on in the summer of 2022, but it didn't work out.
No, it didn't.
Deal fell through. Well, we canceled the deal because
It was just so many things.
It was just so many red
flags happening back to back. It was like, this is not it. So,
so we end up waiting a few more months and end up putting it back on the market.
And sold the house
we put it back on the market in October of 2022.
And we sold it in 2 weeks, within 15 days.
It was under contract within 2 weeks. Yeah. And we ended up closing in December. And by that time, we had figured out exactly where we wanted to move and where we wanted to be because we're into nature. We into date nights, going out doing stuff. Convenience, having convenience of different amenities and stuff like that.
Our children's godparents will also be in the same area, so we just thought that would be better to build our village to help raise our children in the process. So we chose to move north of Georgia.
So that's where we currently live, and we end up renting a home after we sold our home for about 6 months. We were
anticipating to be there for a year and a half, but the stroke of luck was, I think we saw, I said it wrong, but there was a home that we saw that we liked near his best friend's. It was a great home. And then him being the researcher, he came across another home in another community just as good as well as that community, and it was perfect. Like the corner lot and everything, so we couldn't resist
So we
that.
couldn't-
And the pricing was perfect.
Right. So I end up just one day browsing through Zillow and ran across the home that we currently live in now. So it was New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
to be specific.
That we
When I saw it, so I came over here. No, it was
No.
New Year. It was it was 2 days before New Year's.
Yeah.
So I saw the ad on Zillow. I came over, and as soon as I drove up to the community, I was like, "Wow, yeah, this is it. This is what we're looking for," and it's something we can afford.
forward. Yeah.
So reached out to the sales specialist. It took a day for her to get back. She hit me back on New Year's Eve. So hooked me up with their preferred lender and all that. Fast forward, we end up signing the contract
New Year's
about
Eve.
6 o'clock New Year's Eve. So we went into New Year's under contract for another brand new home that we did not think that we would be able to do because we were going to get an existing home or, hope that we can get another brand new home. So got the home, closed in March. No, not March. Sorry, y'all. In May. In May of this year, 2023. So we've only been in a home for 2 months
2
now.
months now.
And during that whole process of selling the first home and moving, we went under contract with a second agency that we found.
But rewind, we had already spoke with the agency.
So while we were in our first home, let me go back. While we were in our first home, the summer of 2021, we did a phone interview with an agency, and we'll talk about that in our next video.
Yeah.
So we did an interview with an agency that I knew we could trust, and
Who just happened to be someone he went to school with.
Yeah. So we'll get into all that. Yeah, he's talking too fast. So did a phone interview. Did a phone interview basically to find out about the agency, some of the prices and all that good stuff. So year went by, did a video interview with the owner of the agency, one of the co-owners, and it went in more detail of pricing, what to expect, this, that, and the third. So once we sold the house, reached out, and we signed our contract and made our deposit. And so we do have an agency, we do have a fertility clinic. We
signed that just before we moved.
Before we moved from our old home. Our first home we sold before we closed on it. So that's pretty much it right now. So we'll try to do videos like every other week. Of course, we're new to this. We got to get used to doing this and being more active on social media. But we do want to share our story and be an inspiration for other couples, black, white, whatever, gay, straight, whoever.
And representation matter. And plus, we're 40.
40
better.
plus.
So that's another scope that we want to focus on as well, to let people know that as people who look like us as well, that it's not too late to start that journey or that process, and there are options and ways to get there, just having the appropriate tools available and go through that process accordingly. So
right, exactly. So we'll continue to share our story. Like I said, we'll try to do a video every 2 weeks until we get accustomed to doing this. But if there's anything y'all would like us to talk about or y'all would like to see, make sure you comment up under the video and subscribe, like, and share the video so we can start building a community. And that's pretty much it, y'all.
All right. Until next time, you guys be well.
All right, y'all have a good one.